Greetings, Earthbound Travelers. It's Saturday night. That means it's time for Will of the Dice presents Sins of Blood. I am Tyr the DM, the world's okayest DM, he, him, and I will be your guide to this cacophony of clusterfuckery. Before we get started, we do have a couple of quick announcements and some introductions. First and foremost, we offer mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Secondly, we do not condone or encourage the use of nicotine products such as cigarettes, cigars, or vaping. We encourage you to live happy, healthy lives. Just because we do it doesn't mean you should. Locke.
Hi, gamers. I'm Locke Clark, and I'm going to talk to you tonight about our musicians, the ones who make the podcast better. They enhance our experience and your experience. I said podcast, I meant stream, or both. Your mileage may vary depending on how you're hearing my voice right now. And tonight, those musicians are Michael Gelfie, Kevin McLeod, Jeff Farber, Dwergar, and our very own Patrick Taylor. Thanks, Peculiar Patrick.
Thanks, Pants.
Gamer, it's cold outside. I saw snow today. It was horrible. You need to help support us so we can get out of the snow-locked deadland that we live in. Go out to Will of the Dice. Look at Patreon. Look us up. Subscribe to us. Help support us so we don't freeze to death. Also get access to After the Rolls, where we talk about the horrible things Tara does and the chicanery and shenanigans we're up to next. So please get please get on Patreon. Look up Will of the Dice. Hit that subscribe button. Really help us out. We appreciate it.
All right, that's our announcements. Let's get down to introductions.
Again, gamers, this is Raph the Mad. I am the voice of Sarek the Blade, and I can't speak tonight. I am he, him, and Sarek is also him. Sarek is a 6'9" tall bronze dragonborn, the big swingy sword, and actually kind of quiet, and is currently lost in space with the rest of them. So I can be found at BOKDragon13000 on Twitter.
Hey everybody, I'm Ren Matley. Tonight I'm going to be the voice of Nan and their counterpart Esmina. I'm a she, her. Nan and Esmina are she, they. Well, currently she's passed out in a bed because she's a big chicken who faints at everything. So you can find me over on Twitter at Ren_Matley.
Hi, gamers. I'm still Locke Clark, and tonight I'll be playing Lazarian, or Laz for short. Laz is a 5'5", half elven appearing. They, them. I'm a he, him. Laz has blue-black hair, mismatched eyes, super pale skin with white scars transversing most of their body. That is actually some sort of script. They woke up in Keep Gregarian, not remembering who they were or how they got there. Their past is a mystery to them. And now they are sitting at the helm of a Spelljammer ship, yelling, "Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead." Wait, no, that hasn't happened yet, but maybe. And you can find me on the Book of Faces on Twitter Patience at Locke Unruly. That's Locke with an H.
Hello everyone, it's me, Patrick, a he-they, playing Dreft Vitakin, a he-him. He's a 5'6" because we're all telling our heights tonight. Uberkin from the land of Angramora. He was taught to be an assassin before becoming a part of the Angramora exchange program, where he kind of found a mysterious evil that he fell in love with and that was killed. And now he's just kind of determined to stop the evil that is about to be unleashed in the world Vashka and make his mark in history. And you can find me on Twitter at Peculiar Patrick.
Hi, yes, this is Ames, and I am a she, her, and I am the voice of Brika, who is also a she, her. Brika is that 5 foot tall, looks like an elf, but is actually a fairy. Lavender colored pearl skin, indigo hair, green stripes at the temples, matching green eyes. Right now, she's a little fed up. They're in the middle of in her mind, in the middle of literally nowhere. And now they've got some, now there's the whole this bitch situation with the statue in the hold. And yeah, she's just, she's kind of above the head with the, done and over this. So we'll see what happens tonight.
And as I said at the beginning, I am Tier the DM, the world's okayest DM, and you can find me on Tier at Twitter at Tier the underscore DM. Blah, words hard. As always, the safe word for tonight is porcelain. And do we have any last requests before we get started?
Oh yeah, and
Not the face.
people can find me on Twitter at LollyG50.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Patrick's mom.
Hi, Patrick's mom.
When last we left the party, they were aboard the Astral Rose, all of them having been impacted by dreams that led some of them into the hold, where they found a statue, a onyx statue of a beautiful woman sitting on a throne. Some to find out that beautiful woman sitting on the throne is more than just a statue. They called themselves the Oracle of Gossamer Bay. Checking the captain's logs, this statue was collected from the Nightmare Realm, but had no logged destination. You fought a Umbra Wraith and some Elven Specters that came for the Oracle. You all were victorious. Laz, attuned with the Spelljammer ship, set course for the Silver Spires. Nan passed out. And Brika tried to spell magic on the statue, which revealed a woman's face for a moment, asking to break the curse before it became onyx again. This is where our story resumes. And this is where we discover if you have been forsaken to the will of the dice. You travel at the speed of thought through the endless expanse that known as the Astral Sea, headed towards the realm of the Silver Spire. What would you like to do?
I'm sitting in the helm seat. I imagine I've got my sword laid across my lap as I'm sitting in the chair, and I'm just sort of experimenting, moving my consciousness around the ship as I'm propelling it forward at the same time. Just getting used to the sensation of moving the ship through the astral sea and figuring out where the limits of moving my mind around the ship are.
Okay. You find that there's no place on this ship you can't reach as you try to experiment with shifting your mind. It's as if you were there, you can see and you can hear.
Dreff's NPC light kicks off and goes to look for his friends.
They are in the hold, Trev.
Thank you, ship. He goes to the hold.
You will find Brika and Sarek in the hold, staring at a statue, a beautiful elven creature sitting on a throne. It'll send chills through you. You've seen it before in a dream. That dream fading back, coming back to memory as if you're stepping back into it. You awake in a dark chamber, the walls covered in runic patterns that give the impression of danger, of conflict and chaos. You can't quite make them out no matter how hard you try. They're always right there on the tip of your tongue, always right there at the forefront of your mind, but never able to decipher. And then you will see a silver mote of light that begins to widen, taking an oval shape, blue as still water standing vertically before you. And the desire to see what lies beyond as you feel as if something is beckoning you.
Draft will have no problems or issues walking towards the oval, the blue oval, and kind of reaching his hand out to touch it to see what it is.
Touching it, it reacts like water. Ripples travel from your hand. As your hand sinks into it, there's a solidity to it, like resistance, like moving through something denser than air, but you don't get wet.
Satisfied. He'll push through.
Pushing through, you will find yourself in a chamber illuminated by bioluminescent growth on the walls and the ceiling. And there, sitting on a throne carved in onyx, beautiful detailed, an elven woman with long blonde hair, blue eyes, white sacramental vestments. You're here to save me.
He'll just shrug. And who is it says I am saving?
I am. They take a deep breath. Silence as they scream, their face turning blue as they grasp at their throat. Digging claw marks into the skin as if trying to pry something free from them. And then you wait. Back to reality here in the hold, staring at this statue.
What the fuck is this thing?
That's what we're trying to figure out. We all had visions, dreams, combination, nightmare, whatever, because of that. And she's just going to point at it.
There's a person trapped in there. She seems to want to get out. She's been cursed.
Apparently this ship picked it up at the Nightmare Realm, but there's no other there's no information on where it's supposed to be going. It's just, yeah.
Draft will spit at the mention of the Nightmare Realm.
It seems the Nightmare Realm wants it back since they sent someone for it.
What did they send?
Some sort of specters. Wraiths.
Or perhaps that is just a defense mechanism.
Okay, so the ship is talking to us? Yeah, everyone else heard that too, yeah?
Yeah, so the ship has gained sentience. We have a new friend.
I didn't hear
Okay.
anything. No, it's Laz. It's part of being it's part of where he sat in the chair and is I don't know, driving this thing. What do you say when you're making a boat move? Is it drive or sail or I don't know, common is
Sail?
difficult.
Sail, I think. But I'm also not a normal native speaker of Common, so.
I believe it is
Correct.
helming. You helm a ship.
Oh. Okay. This is the whole
Gruff,
go ahead, sorry.
your perception picks up something ethereal from this statue. There's a power that seeps from it that is familiar. Something that you have touched before.
Could I make a history check to see if I remember?
Yes, please do.
Da-da-da-da. History check. 19.
This statue reeks, is overgrown with magic from Angramora. There's a shadow magic about it, encasing it.
Hmm. Hmm. The bummer is that I've sent out a scroll of sending already. Hmm. Also, I do not know if she would even answer me at this point. Sorry, there is something about this that reminds me of home.
Mm.
And if home is trying to keep whatever in there, I don't think we should open it. Especially if it's from the Nightmare Realm anyway.
Give me an insight check.
15.
It's not that something from Angramora is trying to keep this in. It's something from Angramora is trying to get out.
Or maybe I'm wrong. And there's something from home trapped inside there. You said this was from the Nightmare Realm?
No, it was picked up in the realm, at least according to the ship's logs.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I agree.
Brika dispelled some of the magic, and she was able to speak a few words before the curse retook her. She's cursed, and that's about all we know. Do you know how to break a curse, Draft?
No, I'm not. Well, I can't say no. I might know how to break some curses. One of them being the curse of life. I know how to break that one very well. But I am not sure. I would have to consult my notes and my studies and think really hard about my schooling if there was anything in there.
Fair enough. There's not much else we can do now. While you consult your notes, I think I'm going to wander. I'm going to check in on Nan to make sure she's, or they're, still doing okay.
Good idea. Would you want to meet in the what's that? The mess hall? So what is the place on the ship that you eat all the food at?
Not the mess, I believe. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
Galley. I think the term is galley.
Yeah. I'm never going to get used to that. I will meet you all at the galleys then, with my notes and all of those things.
Brika, should we go check on Nan?
Yeah, I suppose so. See if she's waking up.
And he'll turn and head to the room they stashed Nan in.
All right. Does Draft stay in the hold or does he head to the galley?
He'll stay in the hold. He won't leave the hold right away. He'll take some time to investigate this statue.
Give me an investigation check.
That's a 2.
It is a statue. It is beautiful. It is ominous.
He'll say in Infernal, hopefully we will free you soon. And then he'll leave, going to give his notes and head to the galley to start poring over those.
As you turn to leave, you hear a whisper, Diviner, 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 Diviner. It seems to follow you until you take the steps out of the cargo hold. Sarek and Brika, you come to the door of the quarters where Nan was stowed after they fainted.
Brika is gonna kind of tap on the door and open it just a little and just be like, Nan?
So Nan probably came to at some point while you all were downstairs and has just kind of been sitting on the edge of the bed, elbows on her knees, kind of holding her head, trying to wrap her head around this whole being out in the astral sea thing. And it's probably where she still is. Oh, hi, Brika.
Are you okay?
It's just a little overwhelming, this whole thing.
Yeah, I know. Drift's NPC light came off, so he's wandering for a little bit, and then we were gonna go, everybody, maybe except for Laz, meet in the galley. Are you hungry?
I suppose. I'm not sure. Tyr, do they feel hungry out here?
No, you do not feel hunger in the astral sea.
I
don't
really
know. I don't necessarily feel hungry, but there's almost a comfort in eating, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's weird not to be hungry. I guess we'll just add that to the list of all the other weird shit that's been happening.
No doubt. Has anyone checked on Clank? Is he all right?
I think I was going to head up to the deck next and kind of wander and check things out, see how he's doing. We were checking things in the hold.
You're muted, Noreen.
Nan is going to check her map case, make sure it is safe, and rest of her gear. Yeah, let's head topside and check on him.
Well, any motion for you all to go first?
Brika's gonna be like, y'all go up. I'll be up in a minute. I'm gonna pop in here into the bathroom. I just need a few moments, and I'll catch up.
Very well. After you, Nan.
All right then, if you're sure, Brika.
Yeah, I'll be right along.
Nan is going to come out into the hallway, start up the steps, pause for a moment at the top, and kind of like close her eyes and take a breath like she's preparing herself this time. And then very carefully step out onto the deck and look around. I don't think I'm going to get used to this at all. It's just too weird.
You're not going to.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I love being on ships. It's the only place that's ever felt like home. But being out here is too weird.
I would like to say I've seen weirder things, but I haven't. This is all new and strange to me as well. Where's Clank? I find it best to focus on our tasks. It helps hold at bay.
Tyr, where's Clank?
Clank is in the cargo hold.
Clank is in the cargo hold with Treff.
Nana's going to look around. The fuck was that?
Oh, that was Laz. He turned into the ship.
It's they, thank you.
Very true. They have turned into a ship.
What do you mean they turned into a ship? Or the ship?
I am in the helm seat of the ship. I am responsible for it, and I am am the ship right now. It's very interesting. I'm learning a lot.
So you can just see where everyone is and what they're doing.
Kind of. I can move around the ship with the speed of thought as if I am in a room.
But like not at all times, like you're not going to watch us taking baths or something like that, right?
I am not at all watching Brika right now. No. That would be weird. She said she had to go to the bathroom. Wait. Have any of you felt the need to go to the bathroom since you've been here?
No, but sometimes people just need a moment alone.
I shift my focus to Brika.
She's in the bathroom, but she's staring at the mirror, and she is just staring at herself in the mirror. She's washed her face, and she's actually taken the robe off, so her wings are out, and she's mumbling in Undercommon, but yeah, she's just...
Okay, I pull my consciousness out of there. Interesting. I mutter to myself, not so that anyone else can hear, and then I shift back to where Sarek and Nan are.
Come on, best we find Clank before he gets himself in trouble.
You know, I'm going to
What
spend
is-
more time in this cargo.
Silly old pirate.
Cheer, what is Clank doing?
He's staring at the statue.
Oh, dear. Clank, you shouldn't mess with it. Unless
There's
you have
no
the ability to
response.
remove curses. Oh, dear. Dreft, are you still in the cargo hold? No. I come to each of you. Clank is staring at the statue. He is non-responsive. I would hurry.
Very well.
Hurry down the steps.
Sarah,
As you
right
all-
behind her.
As you all enter the cargo hold, you will see the fiery red-headed dwarf, slack-jawed, eyes wide, staring at this statue. Give me a perception check.
Right? $19?
Drift,
28.
Sarek,
8.
Did you have to come downstairs with us too? Did I miss
Yeah.
that? Okay. Sorry.
Nan, and Drift. You all will notice that Clank's eyes have gone pure black. There's no pupil, there's no iris. It's just like a shark's eye, black and glossy.
Nan's gonna kind of like push on his shoulder.
He will rock slightly but come back.
Clank. Push him again.
Rock slightly and come back.
You best come too, you rotten old pirate. I don't have time to be dealing with this.
Drift will move to the statue. And then quietly and infernal, we'll start talking to the statue. What are you doing? I said, are you controlling him? Are you giving him more thoughts? Are you giving him more dreams? What are you doing?
I'm checking on you, dumbass. You will hear from behind you.
What the fuck? And he'll turn around.
When you turn around and clock those eyes, there's a familiarity in them, a recognition, an air of royalty. You have seen those eyes before the change. The Queen of Angramora staring at you through Clank's eyes.
He'll immediately drop to his knee. Your Highness, I am so sorry.
We haven't heard from you in a bit. Was getting kind of worried. Glad you're not dead.
Why would I be dead? I am but a soldier and scholar of Angramora. I am just learning the ways of the material plane, as per instructed.
Because people are stupid.
I've come to find that to be very true, Your Highness.
I give you a word of advice. I don't know where you're going, but I would hide that statue.
Consider your advice taken.
Why?
The brilliant emerald eyes of Clank will return. He will blink, looking around, jerk a little bit. You shouldn't be sneaking up on people like that.
Tyr, did any of the rest of us hear Venfira's voice or only Draft?
Everybody. It was coming out of Clank.
Was in common, though? We weren't speaking in Infernal? Damn.
Oh, no, it was an Infernal.
Us,
They could just hear the voice.
you're standing here talking in tongues, your eyes all black and weird, and you're yelling at us about sneaking up on you. She's going to kind of shove him. This is their way. Yeah, you're
You've
talking in
gone
tongues.
daft, lass.
I'm not
no.
deaf. You sounded like that one, and she's going to point at Draft.
There is nothing to worry about. It was just the Queen of Angramora coming to check on me, considering that somehow I am still attached to schoolwork, it would seem. But as my highness has very graciously given the advice, does anyone know how we might be able to hide this big statue?
Well, I'd say we could put it back in the box, but I'm pretty sure that's all wrecked.
Does anyone know mending?
We got some more crates. I mean, we could fix the crate, but why do we need to hide it?
I would assume that because something came to try and steal it before, there are going to be more things come to try and steal it again, and it's much easier for us to be able to defend such things from being stolen if it is not out in the open.
Although it is at the center of the hold, all the crates well. We might
What
want
was that
to.
last part, Raph?
Well, I'm just merely pointing out that this statue is sitting in the center of the hold, and all the rest of the crates are well away from it. There are none near it at this point.
So we put it in another box and we make it a shell game.
Yes. At least for now.
Well, Clank, how do we repair this box and how do we start moving things around?
Clank will go to get tools and crates, and we'll cut over to Brika in the privy of the Spelljammer.
Yep. Like I said, she was just staring in the mirror, kind of mumbling in Undercommon, and she had quickly taken a little bit of a bath in whatever sink or basin may be in there. When she comes out, she actually still doesn't have the robe of eyes on. She's moved her bag so it's kind of sitting on her like a satchel and has the robe tucked over that. Her wings are out, but she, instead of being in the plain shift, she's in a square cut, almost like tank top and dark blue pants. And can she hear them in the hold?
Give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay. Alright. That is a 21.
Wow, with disadvantage? That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
You can hear noise from the hold. You can't discern what's being said.
Okay. That's mainly what she was looking for, is like, can she hear any kind of noise from the hold so she'd know that's kind of like where they went. So she's going to head down to the hold, and when she gets to wherever they are doing whatever they're doing, she's standing there. She's just wearing a square-necked tank top, dark blue pants. Her wings are out, and the biggest thing you're going to notice is that she's washed off all of the makeup she normally wears, so her skin is actually full-on lavender pearlescent, so she kind of looks like she's glowing a little bit. And anybody within about 10 yards of her is now going to smell the faintest scent of fresh baked cookies. What are you guys doing?
Oh, we're playing a shell game. We're putting the creepy statue into a box and... Wait a second. What is that? What is that? And he'll stop because he starts smelling the air. He goes, wait a second. What is... What is... Is that you? Are you someone... What did you use to clean yourself with?
She's gonna look at you, Draft, and she's gonna do like she always does when she looks at you. She's gonna arch one eyebrow, but now you also notice her eyebrows look a little... They extend past her forehead, and they now look a little like an antenna. There's a little bit that comes off to the side, just a little bit. It's not super long, but it just comes up a little bit and curls upward. Yes, I'm sorry. I bathed, and as you can see, she holds her arms out in their pearly glow and everything. Yeah, it's me. I apparently smell what a lot of people like to call cookies.
Yeah, that's a good smell for you. That's a good look for you, too. You look more relaxed, less uptight. So this is a good look for you. Anyway, we're moving these boxes. Do you want to help us with moving these boxes so that the box with the creepy statue in it is not so easily found?
Sure.
You missed it, Brika. Clank here, apparently Clank here was Her Majesty of Angramora there for a moment.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
Clank's eyes went all black and weird, and he was talking in tongues, and Drift there says it's his queen talking through Clank.
Huh.
Apparently he's late on his homework or something.
Oh. Teacher checking up on the student? Okay. Did she say anything else that's helpful, or that's just why we're doing this with that thing? She points at it, but she won't look at it. You can tell she's extremely aggravated by this statue. She's just like that.
Yeah, she just gave me some advice. She gave me some advice and called me a dumbass. So pretty normal thing for the queen.
Nan's gonna kind of look Brika up and down. Must be nice to just get to be who you are.
Yeah, the robe was starting to chafe. My wings are tired of being kept in all the time. I still don't know who exactly I am, but I figure, I'm tired of hiding all the time. At this point, they're going to throw everything at us, or so it seems, because everywhere we go, it seems like we wind up with just a longer list of shit that we've got to do, so...
Doesn't matter who you used to be. What matters is who you are right now.
That makes sense. She'll start helping with whatever she can help with.
As you go to help, the others will notice that there are places on your skin that will start to glow softly. A white, stark contrast against your skin. Runic patterns. Everybody give me, those of you in the hold, give me a perception check. Laz, make yours with advantage. All right, Brika,
Yes? Oh,
what was your...
I'm sorry. I didn't know if you wanted me to, because you said they could see it. You didn't... That is a dirty 20.
Dreft,
14.
Laz,
I also have a dirty 20.
Nan,
Nan's too busy giggling with Clank apparently because I got an 8.
Zarek,
Sarek is just now realizing Brika has entered the hole, and he's like, "Oh, hi," because he rolled a 4.
Rika, Dreft, Laz from your helm. We'll see that these runic patterns that are glowing so softly over the different parts of exposed flesh mimic on the statue.
Wait. That's peculiar. Hang on. Wait a second. You're one of those people that read things, right? You read the fortunes. Does that make you some sort of oh, what is the common word for it?
Diviner?
Exactly the words that I was thinking of. Does this statue talk to any of you?
It wouldn't talk to me until I dispelled it.
No other whispers or anything on the wind?
Diviner. It said diviner. It said it to...
Okay.
Me and Nan heard it. And
I heard it too.
Brika's like staring at the... These were not ones that were there before, correct?
Correct.
She's staring at them and her eyes are kind of really wide. She's like, the scars. She points to her wrists and points to some of the darker marks on her arms and shoulders, and those have been there for ever. But she's a little freaked out. Can she recognize what the language is from the runes, or
No.
Well then, it seems that maybe you should do some form of... Oh, maybe you should do a reading for yourself on the statue, or sit in the sex position on the statue. You should line up your tattoos somehow.
does her markings line up like with... Do they line up at all with what's on the statue, or no?
What you're seeing is the runes that appear on your arms, your neck, your face are also appearing on the statue in the same place.
She'll take her satchel bag off with the robe of eyes and set it down and get out her black deck of tarot cards, the ones that look like they almost look like they're made out of a black shiny metal or shell, and the illustrations on them appear to be moving, and she'll go through the whole ritual of shuffling and cutting the deck, and she'll... the statue can't do it, so she's looking at the statue as she cuts, and then she'll lay out the 5-card spread.
As you go to lay out the first card, it's blank. The next card is blank. Third card, fourth card, fifth card are blank.
No. She checks the other cards. She leaves those where she laid them.
They're all blank. The runes begin to grow brighter. Traveling now, interconnecting on your arms, across your chest, up your cheeks. It looks like light, a crown of light gathering on your forehead, growing upward. the same crown forming on the statue.
Sarah's going to take a step.
Take a step. What was that?
Take a step back.
Yeah, Drev's gonna do the same.
Brika just kind of sighs. She's like, it's never ending shit.
And when you say that frustration, the last word comes out in a voice that doesn't sound like your own. It's very bassy, almost masculine. Shit. It reverberates, shaking the statue. You see cracks beginning to form. Spiderwebbing up across the beautiful face, across the hair.
More steps backwards.
Brika doesn't know what she hearing that voice come out of her. She's just like basically shocked. She's standing there in shock. Has no idea what to fucking do.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
That's a 13.
The statue grabs you by the wrist. When it touches you, those ruins that were glowing white begin to glow blue. Dark, royal blue, bathing the statue and the area around you in this royal blue light. You can free this thing. Something in you tells you can free it. If you concentrate hard enough, if you try hard enough.
Is she still able to say anything to the rest of the group?
Yes.
I think I can free it.
Roll a d6 for me.
Whew, that's a 6.
It will take you 6 rounds of concentrating to free this. I say rounds because you hear the blowing wind. You smell sulfur. As a creature like before, the black, smoky, shadowing form, feminine, and always with the wolf's head, with the antelope-style antlers, appears with 3 undescribable entities of magic. They just constantly shift and change. There's no one solid shape. They a helix and then a dexahesimal and a decahedron and octahedron, and they're just constantly shifting. Insight check, Drift.
$24.
This is an Umber Wraith, a renegade assassin from Angramora that would not bend the knee to Vinfira.
Oh shit.
And everybody roll initiative.
And we haven't had a long rest.
And you can join me now by rodeo.
Bear with me just a second, audience, while I switch it.
will put Laz over there. This map is default in Owlbear Rodeo. All right.
Clank still down there with us?
Yes, he is. I was getting him right now. All right. We're going to start backwards this time. Sarek.
4!
Nan.
19.
Laz.
22.
Dreft.
Dirty 20.
And Brika.
16.
16.
Mm-hmm. And quick question, while doing the concentration, that means instantaneous spells are fine. Just can't do any others
Right.
that are concentration. Okay.
And if you take any damage, you have to make a concentration check.
Okay.
All right. Laz, you're up.
Okay. Well, this ought to be interesting. Hold on, I gotta check a wording. Did I actually pull that off? Okay, I guess if I can't do that, I can do the other one. How far away would you reckon the hold is from where I'm sitting?
I'd say about 200 feet.
In a straight line, not like I would have to traverse through the ship. In a straight line, how far?
About 200 feet.
If I could face, there would be 200 feet. Ugh. So here's the...
You keep in mind, helming the ship takes all your magic slots.
No, it doesn't. It takes all my concentration.
It says
If I leave the chair, though, the ship will stop, but will just be stationary. If I read it right.
Yeah, whether fresh or not, if you man the helm, you immediately lose all of his or her spellcasting ability sitting on the helm until you are rested again.
Wait, where did you find that?
It's under the... I'll send you the link.
Because I have read the spell jamming helm like 5 times, and I did not see that. It just says, while attuned to the spell jamming helm and sitting in it, you gain the following abilities for as long as you maintain concentration as if concentrating on a spell. Okay, I mean, if you say if that's how you're rolling it, that's how you're rolling. Even I don't see that anywhere.
I'll after stream, I'll send it to you.
Okay, well, yeah. All right, well, that's different than I thought it was then. Um, yeah, I guess there's a lot I can do then. Damn it. I honestly thought that I'd be able to do things. I guess I get out of the chair, take up my sword, and start running that way
All
at a
right.
full dash.
All right. That'll bring up Drift.
Using his object interaction, he is going to draw the blade of the Raven Song, is going to use a bonus action to teleport using the Shadow Queen's Blessing to teleport the 25 feet towards the Umber Wraith. And then with this, it gives him resistance to all damage when you teleport using this trait until the start of my next turn. So he poofs over to the Umber Wraith and then takes a swing with the Blade of the Raven Song.
All right. Go ahead and make that attack roll.
A dirty 20.
Dirty 20 hits.
Okay, and that is... Okay, it's 2d6. It's 2d6. So that's 17 magical slashing damage from the Raven Song.
17.
Correct. Magical slashing.
All right. So coming through, slashing across the chest of the Umber Wraith, the creature snarling at you, recognizing you as one of those loyal to the queen that it despises.
And that's my turn.
All right. Nan.
Nan's eyes will suddenly go white as Ismina takes control, throwing her hands up in the directions of number 2 and 3. She's going to create a tidal wave that's only about 5 feet wide because it can be up to 10 feet wide. And it's going side to side. It'd be about 25 feet long. And they need to make dexterity 15 saving throws.
Number 2 and 3 fail.
All right. So they're going to take full damage and be knocked prone.
These are shifting entities. They can't be knocked prone, but they will take the damage.
All righty then. That's fair. So it's 14 points of damage. The water then just kind of disperses and vanishes.
All right. The sound of the roaring waves comes through, crashing into these creatures. They do not make any noise or seem to react, but you can tell that you have done some damage to them.
Cool.
All right, Brika.
Let me see. I believe she's gonna stay where she's at and she's gonna focus on the statue.
All right. Number 3 moves down against Clank. Number 2. Number 1. We're going to start with the Umber Wraith attacking you, Drift. That is a 12.
12 will miss. He'll bring his sword up and parrying it.
And that is a 14.
14 is very close, but also another miss.
Awesome. All right. I need a Constitution saving throw from Sarek.
18.
All right, so you will take half damage as this sickening gray and green beam blasts into you. $13 points of necrotic damage.
Great.
And I need Nan to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okie dokie. A natural 20.
All right. That'll be 12 points of necrotic damage. Clank is going to make his saving throw. Clank fails. He rolled a 2. That'll be 20 points of necrotic damage for Clank. All right, Sarek.
Seeing as his target has moved to him, he will pull Arabane's Patience and take 2 swings at this point.
All right, make those attack rolls.
15.
15 will not hit.
24.
That'll hit.
For 14 points of slashing.
Give me a perception check.
17.
All right, thank you. Let me make a note of that. All right. That'll be Clank. He will raise his mace and will miss. All right, back to Laz.
I guess I'm still moving.
See, what's your speed?
30.
Okay, so you would have come down the steps. We'll put you right there.
Okay.
All right, Drift.
Drift is going to breathe in, drawing a dagger from his side. So now that he has the blade of the Raven's Song in one hand and a dagger in the other, he's going to take a bonus action to do steady aim to give myself advantage on the attack with the blade of the Raven's Song. And then is going to swing with it. Say 22?
22 hits.
22 hitting, and since I hit with advantage on with a finesse weapon, my sneak attack will go off. So sneak attack damage is 15, and the blade of the Raven Song will deal 15 as well, magical slashing damage.
All right.
And that is Dref's turn.
All right, Nan.
You said that this was necrotic damage, right?
Yes.
As Mina feeling what's happening, realizing that everybody could be in danger from this, is going to cast Aura of Life. Life-preserving energy radiates from you in an aura with a 30-foot radius, so that should put everyone in the aura. Until the spell ends, the aura moves with you, centered on you. Each non-hostile creature in the aura, including you, has resistance to necrotic damage, and its hit point maximum can't be reduced. In addition, a non-hostile living creature regains 1 hit point when it starts its turn in the aura with 0 hit points.
Okay.
All right, so that is That is what she's doing on this turn. So
Awesome.
Asmina will speak in Druidic, and you'll feel like a warm wave move across all of you.
All right, Rika.
Just a second. All right. She is going to cast Poison Spray at number 3. That is,
Okay.
it's a cantrip. And that's a 15 Constitution save.
It fails.
Okay. Sec. Alright, that is 20 points of poison damage.
All right. Is that your turn?
Yes.
All right. Number 3, disengage. Well, it doesn't disengage. It moves away from Clank towards you. Clank will get an attack of opportunity. That is a 3 + 4 is 7. Now I need Brika to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. That's a 21.
So you'll take 7 points of necrotic damage, or whatever the reduces it to.
You've got resistance, so it should half it.
Okay.
So 3 points of necrotic damage, and you need to make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw to maintain concentration.
Okay. That's a 13.
All right. That is the second round done. Number 2 engulfs Nan, spinning around them. These energy-like blades attempting to break Nan's skin. It's rolling an attack roll. That'll be a 7.
Surprisingly, that'll actually miss.
All right. It does the same thing to Sarek. That is 13.
That misses.
And then the Umber Wraith will take its swing on Drift. That is 14.
14 is a miss.
If 14 misses, 11 will miss.
Using his dagger to block and the blade of the Raven Song.
It is, watching Drift at this moment is like watching a dancer. He is fluid in his movements. His 2 blades parrying this creature of shadow and shade. That'll bring up Sarek.
Second verse, same as the first. 2 swings. Close. 31.
31, that'll hit.
14 points of slashing. 24.
That'll hit.
15 points of slashing. And yeah, I'm gonna, as my bonus action, I'm gonna use Second Wind to get back some hit points.
All right.
I will return 12 hit points.
Clank, having no idea what the hell's going on, is going to try to attack this one that is attacking Nan. Flanking position. Rolled a 5 and a 3. The DM curse continues. All right, that'll be Laz.
All right. Laz takes the sword and slashes it through the air, throwing off 2 bolts of magical green energy, Eldritch Blast style, at at the one on the Umber Wraith that is on Dreft, and the one that is on Brika. And I'm going to make both of those repelling blasts.
All right.
That is 13 plus 8 is 21, blackjack.
That hits.
And 9 plus 8 is 17.
17 hits.
All right. And those are D10s. So the one on Dreft takes 11 points of force damage, and the one on Brika takes 8 and 5 is 13 points of force damage, and they are both knocked back 10 feet away from me in a straight line.
All right.
And then I'm going to move up by 30 feet from where I'm to sort of between Dreft and Clink there.
All right. All right.
That'll end my
Draft.
turn.
Dreft will use the movement to catch back up to his target that he was fighting, and will take a swing with the blade of the Raven's Song, and then bonus action to 2-weapon fighting, swing with his dagger. Blade of the
I
Raven's
think they're
Song.
so pretty.
22 for the Blade of the Raven's Song.
That'll hit.
That'll be... Oh, excuse me. 14 magical slashing damage from the Blade of the Raven Song. And for the
Okay.
dagger, will a 9 hit?
9 will not hit.
I figured as much. And that will be my turn.
All right. That'll bring up Nan.
As Mina, realizing that she can no longer cast the spell she was planning to cast because everybody is now moved into where they would be in range, is going to take... Yeah. I think she's just going to wild shape. I
Okay.
had to think about it for a second. I was like, is she going to take out a dagger? No, Esmina would probably wild shape. Let's be honest. Oh, shoot. There we go. And I think we're gonna go with the bear. She's gonna wild shape into a bear. That's gonna be her turn.
All right. That'll bring up Rika. Rika.
Sorry, that level 1 Dissonant Whispers at number 3. That's a 15 wisdom save.
That is a nat 7.
Woo! This means you're going to take 3d6 damage, and you also have to move as far away from me as possible. So, let me just a second. That is 12 points of psychic damage. And then GTFO.
All right.
Concentration roll, do I need? No, that's right. I didn't take any damage yet. Never mind. Ooh, I do want to... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I do want a bonus action real quick and spend 2 of my spell points to get back 1 level 2 spell slot,
Okay.
and that's it.
All right. Number 8 is going after you, Drift. 16.
16 just hits.
7 points of slashing damage. Dirty 20.
Oof, yeah, dirty 20 hits.
12 points of slashing damage. Number 2 will take an attack of opportunity from Nan and Clank. Clank misses.
$23.
23 hits.
All right. It's 2d4. It's not a ton of damage, but 7 points of slashing damage from the claw.
All right. I need Brika to make a Constitution saving throw as
Okay.
that sickening green and gray light.
Okay. Please. Okay. Woo, that's a 22.
So that'll be 6 points of necrotic damage, and I need a concentration check.
Okay.
Does that factor in the resistance from the aura?
Yes.
Okay. I was getting ready to ask the same thing. Because she's starting to look a little rough. She's about 20%. And that, there we go. Oh, a 19. Whew.
All right. Sarek, I need a Constitution saving throw. What'd you get?
I was muted. I got an 18.
18. You'll take 4 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And that'll be Sarek's turn.
Looking around quickly, seeing Breaker being attacked by one of these things, he will take the attack of opportunity and move up next to her. And
19.
then swing. 19 will hit.
9 points of slashing damage.
Okay. And then he will attack twice, number 2.
All right.
23
23 hits.
for 12 points of slashing. And a dirty 30 for another 12 points of slashing. And that'll be his turn.
All right. Clank charges the Umber Wraith and misses. Poor Clank just can't get anywhere. All right, Laz.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck that one in particular, I guess. Nice. All right. I'm gonna move directly down the map 25 feet to get next to Sarek And then I am going to blast numbers 2 and 3 with Eldritch Blasts. Once
All
again, repelling. Oh, yeah. That is a nat 20 and a 19.
They both hit.
And
Right
on the
quick,
19.
is the 20 going to 3 or 2?
Okay, let's give the 20 to 3.
All right.
Since I know that Nan has already fucked 2 up a little bit. So those are d10s. And that is 19 and 5 is 24 points of force damage to number 3, and it's knocked back 10 feet.
You see it unravel like a double helix, like a strand of DNA unraveling. And as it unravels, it turns into motes of light fading.
And then number 2, I rolled max on the die, so it takes 15 points of force damage and is knocked 10 feet in a straight line away from me.
You will see it fade as well.
Cool.
So that's 2 of them gone. Drift.
Taking a bonus action for steady aim, and I'm going so I get advantage and Blade of the Raven Song again to the Umba Wraith. That is a 23.
23 hits.
All right, it will take 14 sneak attack damage because of the finesse and the advantage. And then it will take... Wow, I'm rolling really low on this other damage, but 13 magical slashing damage from the Blade of the Raven Song.
It looks less than it did. There's gashes. You can see the variation in the smoke and the ash. Dark smoke trailing as if bleeding. Is that your turn?
That will be Dreff's turn.
All right, that'll bring up Nan.
The bear is going to charge forward and position itself across from Dreft and make its attacks.
Okay. That's flanking, so that'll be with advantage.
Awesome. The bear does have multi-attack, so it makes 1 bite and 1 claw. Though my op attack I only did 1, because I figured that's how that would work. I rolled 2 13s on the dice. That's hilarious. So 17.
17 does not hit.
All right, so the claw is going to miss. Swiping with the claw misses. Taking a bite at this thing. Well, if 17 didn't hit, 16's not going to hit. So
Nope. All right, Rika.
Let's see. She's just gonna focus on the statue.
All right. Number 1 will come to attack you, Nan. It will not attack with advantage because the Umber Wraith is using its shadow step. It's taking 2 swipes at Brika. First swipe. Cocked. That is a 12.
That hits.
That is 12 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And the second attack is a 22.
That hits.
That's 8 points of slashing damage.
Brika's
So I need... Brika's unconscious.
Yes.
Brika
All
is
right.
still within 30 feet of Nan. So at the start of Brika's next turn, she will return to 1 hit point because you're
Yep.
still within the aura.
That'll bring up Sarek.
Now I'm pissed. And he steps forward and he's going to lay into this thing with Airbane's patience with 4 attacks because he needs to spend his action surge. First attack, an 18.
18 does not hit.
Ooh. Second attack, 23
23 hits.
for 13 points of slashing. Third attack, 28 for 14 points of slashing. And
How do you want to do it?
He's just gonna impale, bring his blade across. He just sticks it and impales and twists, cutting its heart out.
As you drive this blade in, that perception check I had you roll earlier, you notice there's a soft golden light that appears between the handle and the crossguard of Airbane's patience as you twist and the creature roars out in pain and fades to mist. The constantly shifting object fading with it as combat comes to an end. Brika, you will be restored to 1 hit point.
Draft will exhale, take a knee, put both his dagger and blade of Raven Song away, and then call out, "Is everyone okay? Are we okay? Have we broken the curse yet?"
No. And I am really tired of this shit. She sounds like really, really, really tired.
Go ahead and switch us back to normal mode
Yep.
there. Thank you.
The bear is going to kind of do that floppy gallop that bears do over to Brika. As it reaches you, it's going to shift back into Asmina, reach out a hand, touching you and casting a 2nd level Cure Wounds. Oop, that's the wrong spell slot. I wanted to use a 2nd level spell slot, not a 1st. That's gonna be 17 points of healing.
Yay.
Sorry, 18. 18 points of healing. Sorry, 14 and 4 is 18, not 17.
That's okay. She looks a little better. She still looks a little rough, but she looks better.
Are you all right?
I will be. I'm
Those
really... Go ahead.
those white runes will have faded.
Does she no longer feel like she could
No,
break the curse?
not at this moment.
I'm not sure if I don't know, but I don't feel like I can free it now. I don't know if it's I just don't know.
That's all right, my friend. Calling from the side we're over by Clank. It's all right. I think we all need a little bit of a rest before we continue with this statue business.
Drift. For the briefest moment, you see that Brika still wears that crown of light, and then it shimmers and fades.
Yeah. I think a rest would be good for all of us.
I agree. You'll notice that like whatever shimmer she had is it's much duller at the moment. And their wings don't glow with as quite as bright of the bioluminescence that they usually do. She would gladly take a rest.
Esmina will look back over to where she left Draft, seeing now that he is on his knees. Are you all right? Do you need assistance?
Oh, I wouldn't say no to some assistance. I feel the ache in my bones.
She will make her way over to Draft, lay a hand on him, and use her last second level spell slot to give him a Cure Wounds.
While they're doing that, Brika's gonna have a faint moment of an idea. She's gonna pick back up her tarot cards and reshuffle and redeal.
12 points of healing for Draft.
Thank you for that, Esmina. I feel I was close to being almost gone from all of you again.
The lot of you really do need to learn to call for me when you need me.
I will get better at it, I suppose.
My defense,
As
I
you-
don't. Go ahead, sorry.
As you deal out the cards, Brika,
Mm-hmm.
they're all the Oracle card.
Well, as bracing as this was, no one is helming the ship. We are stagnant at the moment. I must return to the seat. And I turn and start heading back upstairs.
Laz,
Yes.
just so I understand, if you need to take a break or take a rest, the ship stops, correct?
Yes. But as I do not need to sleep, and so long as we are in the astral sea, none of us need anything. I see no reason to take a break.
Fair enough. Just something to note.
Does anyone else require my assistance?
I'll be fine eventually.
Esmina
That
will
was
look.
rude.
Esmina will look to Clank. Do you need me?
Clank. No, save it for someone more deserving.
Nan seems to think that you are deserving. She says you are one of the closest she's had to a friend.
You'll see him blush a little bit at that.
If I am not needed, then. Close her eyes for a moment, letting them go brown again.
Laz, you find that something about being attached to this ship, you move quicker now through the ship. As if the ship bids you to travel freely. While aboard this ship, your movement is 45.
Good to know.
And at this point, we're going to take our first break. So thank you all so much for joining, for hanging out. We're going to take 10 minutes to grab our beverages of choice, our snickety snacks, and handle business. And we'll be back in 10. return from our break. Little bit of business here first. Locke, I owe you an apology. Wizards of the Coast have updated the Spelljammer rules, and taking the helm no longer costs you all your spell slots.
Yay, more spell slots.
Secondly, I just realized holidays are right around the corner. I do not believe we'll be streaming Thanksgiving weekend. We usually don't. We won't be streaming Christmas weekend or New Year's weekend. And we may not be streaming next weekend. Keep an eye on social media to find out. Okay, there, business concluded. We zoom back into the hold of the ship. The ash and dust settled from where these creatures that once were are no more. The statue has changed. It is now taken on a blue tint to the black. In certain lights, the color gradient shifts. Almost hypnotic, almost alluring. Brika, give me an insight check.
Ooh, that is a 24.
I need everyone but Brika to earmuff. Brika, some of those runes, now that you think about it, they have a familiarity to them. They have a deep, gnawing familiarity. You close your eyes and picture the white outlines on your purple iridescent skin, and you're transported to a memory that you had in a cradle. This beautiful woman talking to you, soothing you. You see on her flesh white runes covering her arms, covering her face. They glow softly as this person sings a lullaby to you in the fairy tongue to lull you to sleep.
Is it the vision of her mother, or is it the
Yes.
Okay. And so her mother has those runes. But it's not the same as the woman she's seeing when they had the vision with the statue.
Correct. It is not the same woman.
Okay. Because you said the woman in the statue was elven, not...
Correct.
Okay. Does she recognize the words of the song? Does she understand, like... Or is it just fairy and she doesn't understand it?
No, she understands because she can understand the fairy language amazingly. It's as if it is innate. And it's just a song, a sweet little melody about tucking one in and going to sleep for a while and
Yeah.
the wonderful dreams they will have.
So it's like Rockabye Baby.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep. Do you want us to roll it out? Should I look shocked? Should I look surprised? Should I look whatever?
Up to you. I'm bringing everybody back.
Okay. Brika, she had just laid out the 5 cards, and they were all the oracle card, but in that moment there's a slight, she goes still for a moment, and then it's almost like cold chill. She shivers just a little bit. And she's looking at, you said the runes on her are gone now.
Correct.
But she's looking back at her arms where those white runes had been. The I had another memory. My my mother had those marks. She looks back at the statue. She's going to pick up her tarot cards again, and she's going to redeal.
Once again, the oracle card. The second card, the oracle card. The third card, the oracle card. The fourth card, the oracle card. The fifth card, the Queen of Staves.
At that point, she's just gonna sweep all the cards together, pick up her deck, and she's gonna like stand up. She's staring at that statue, and she just starts cursing in Undercommon, with a little bit interspersed in Common, just basically to the gist of, I am tired of this shit. Will somebody just tell us where the fuck we need to go, what the fuck we need to do, why it even matters, and can we be done with this already?
You will feel the ship stop, coming to a creep. Laz, you see on the horizon shimmering energy as if heat radiating off of a stone. Beyond that, you see 3 silver spires, one taller than the next, taller than the next, surrounded by a body of glistening water and green land.
Everyone, it would appear we have reached our destination.
Oh, that's what that was. Rika, my dear, are you going to be okay?
Be fine once we figure this all out and we're done with all this shit. And I guess there's no rest for the weary.
No, it seems there's not.
Y'all can take a long rest. I mean, you don't have to go boarding party right out the gate.
Yes, we are on the edge of what is the right word, I suppose? System. The ship has slowed because we are on the edge of something tangible within the astral sea. I sense that travel will be different once we enter the system.
Maybe it would be for the best if we tried to take a rest. I know it's not just me who's hurt. I know Dreft was
Yes.
also quite banged up.
True.
Yeah,
Shall we go upstairs and at least up on deck and at least take a look?
It is
In-
quite a sight.
enjoy your looky loo. I'm going to go rest. And Draft will go to the cabin and pass out.
For once, I agree with him. New things freak me out too much. I'm gonna go take a rest. And she will up and away to the cabin.
Let's go look at it, and then I'm going to go rest.
After you.
Brika will make her way out of the hold and up to the deck.
Y'all will see this shimmering system spreading out before you. It's still in the distance. The atmosphere giving the waves of like heat coming off a stone. You see beautiful blue water, beautiful green land, and even visible from here, 3 spires, each taller than the next. Brika, you feel something It is something foreign to you, but there's something within you that calls to this place, that yearns for this place. It's a homesickness almost that penetrates your very core, as if something in you knows what you do not.
She's gonna, she's gonna kind of shiver a little, and her wings will even kind of match that shiver in a fluttering motion, and as she just stands there looking at it, and she's just going to say, "Well, I guess that's home."
Maybe. Well, at least Nan will have something to map now.
Maybe it'll help her feel better.
Well, should we get some rest then? I'm sure it'll be long. Where's Clank?
Clank is at the prow of the ship, just sort of staring out over the expanse, muttering to himself.
Sarek will approach Clank. Clank, I have a question.
Hi.
Several questions, actually. I assume you've never been here before, have you?
Oh, yeah, many times.
You've been to the Silver Spires before.
Aye.
What's it like?
Crazy. Whatever you do, don't eat the food. Make sure you pass that to your mates.
That's a bunch of fairy tale. And she's gonna look at Clank, because I don't think he's noticed, because he's never seen her wings before. She's going to, on purpose, stand up a little taller over 5 foot, and make sure her wings kind of stretch out.
Begging your pardon, lass, but 'tis no fairy tale. To feast with the Fae means you stay there. They're a tricksy lot, they are.
Everyone's a tricksy lot if you're not paying attention. But more to the point, are we safe out here?
Safe as anyone can be in the Astral Sea. There's creatures and monsters and pirates, and a sea is a sea is a sea, Master Sarek. A sea is a sea is a sea.
Well, I guess fair enough.
You hear Laz's voice as if it's standing next to you. I will remain diligent while you all rest. I do not need it as the rest of you do.
True, I guess some habits die hard. Well, shall we
I
get
swear
some...
we've met before, Master Sarek. I'd stake a gold on it.
I think I would remember you.
Brika's just going to shake her head, and she's going to turn and head to the back downstairs.
But either way, I think we're going to head on down and get some rest. You might want to rest yourself. I think the next few days are going to be rather interesting. And he'll go turn in.
All right. I need everyone that's taking a long rest to please roll a intelligence saving throw. And while you're doing that, I want to give a shout out to Rich and Andrew. They're working the mandatory Saturday night at the good old Pomeroy's. If you guys tuned in, thanks for tuning in. I know that y'all are busy. I appreciate it. All right, Brika.
That was an 18, and thanks for watching, Tears coworkers.
Draft.
That's a 5.
Nan.
Did you say intelligence or wisdom?
Intelligence.
In that case, it is 16.
And Sarek.
12!
Need everyone but Draft to earmuff.
But I can't earmuff.
Drift. You go to rest, and it's fitful, tossing and turning. That calling that you felt, that familiarity goes beyond that of Angramora. It harkens to a power that you once held that you recently lost. And you wonder as you lie there tossing and turning, could this statue, could this diviner restore you to your power?
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. He'll just that's where he'll be. He'll try to rest, but he can't.
Oh, you eventually fall asleep and take a long rest.
Whew.
You all may avail yourself of a long rest.
Oh, thank God.
Tyr, while they're all long resting, at some point during that, Laz is going to get out of the chair and take a short rest. Is going to go and check out the spelljammer quarters that are next to the spelljamming helm, and just acquaint themselves with the quarters in real life, and just stretch out for an hour to get a short rest in, and then maybe wander down to the saloon to get a drink, and then come back and resume sitting in the helm.
Give me a perception check.
That is a 16 plus 4, dirty 20.
There's something uncomfortable about this bed. There's a spot that, try as you might, you cannot get comfortable. It's something almost poking you in the back.
I'll look under the mattress.
You find a book, leather bound.
Interesting. I'll take it with me, and once after I've done my short rest, I'll go sit back. You know, like I said, I go down to the saloon, get a drink, and then because now I've explored the ship, I know there's a saloon on the ship, which is awesome. And I come back and sit down in the helm, and I start reading.
It's the captain's personal journal. And it talks about that they had the dream again. The woman in the cave.
Interesting.
Goes on to say that they can't wait to get this statue off the ship. And they just have 2 stops to make beforehand. One in Silver Spire, one in Runith Kesha. And as long as nobody in the Silver Spire finds out about the statue, they'll be okay. So his plan was to deny shore leave to the crew because loose lips sink ships.
And did I get that correctly? There, you said there were 2 stops to make. Was Runith Kesha the final destination, or was that another
Yes.
stop before the final? Okay, that was the final destination. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to spend the rest of the long rest reading through, going back to the beginning of the journal and reading through, trying to like glean any extra knowledge about piloting the ship and all of that that I can, and any interesting characters that I might need to make note of for later, and on and off chatting with Helga while I sit in the chair.
Okay.
Every once in a while I poke in, check on my friends sleeping.
You'll find that Draft has a fitful rest, but does eventually make it to a sound sleep.
Okay. I wait for everyone else to wake up.
Time will come for everyone to rouse.
Brika would have gotten up after her 4-hour trance and wandered over, like, kind of wandered around until she found exactly where the galley was, and she will be making tea. Fortune's tea, to be exact.
Okay.
Draft will be the second person to wake up, as he also only trances for 4 hours. And there isn't much else to do, so he'll wander to the galley and see Brika.
Did you rest okay?
He'll just shake his head, but he'll extend his hands out for a cup of tea.
She'll hand him a cup. Save me the leaves. This is the Fortune's brew.
If there's anything to be said, there will be nothing in this tea for me. And he will quietly sip his tea.
At this point, it's all been nothing. But we shall see.
We shall see. And he'll finish his tea after a while and hand the cup back over.
Oh, also, I have discovered there is a saloon on board with a full bar. It is roughly across the hall from where you are now,
Interesting.
if any of you have interest.
She's gonna take her cup first that she finished. She's gonna do her little. She's gonna kind of mumble over the cup and then take it and with one hand over the lid, over the top of the cup, then turn it upside down on her hand and look at the leaves.
Looking at the leaves, you get a vision. You see a crystal lined shore, hard quartz jutting out, dangerous rocks that ships have to transverse to get to dock. You will see bells in a tower ringing. Once, twice, a third time. You will see yourself in a grave. And as you look down at yourself, the face will change, and it will be Dreft. And you will see Dreft rise from this grave and put on a crown of thorns, and you will come from the vision.
But I don't like the way you hummed just now.
Give me just a moment. She's gonna pick up his Dreft's cup now. Do the same thing. Hand over the top. Say her little bit, and then turn it upside down and look at the leaves.
Looking at the leaves, they begin to animate, like stop motion animation. They make a slender figure. They show a hole dug in the slender figure laid in the hole. Then the slender figure stands up and a crown is placed upon their head.
Well, You gotta
I
remember
don't
not.
like Savelle.
Yeah, you gotta remember not to read too much into some of these things. But a bell tolled 3 times. There was a grave with me in it at first, but then it changed to you, and then you rise from the grave with a crown of thorns.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Before you had no idea of what my fortune was, and now you're saying that I'm going to be in a grave for thorns. What the fuck does that mean?
She's gonna look at him and just shrug. I don't always know. I can just tell you what I see. I mean, I was looking at me in that grave first before it became you.
And my tea? What did my tea say?
Same thing. You was he able to see the little leaves as they did their thing?
No,
Okay.
only you saw that.
It's basically the same thing. But if it makes you feel any better, death often is not death, it's actually rebirth.
When she says that, Drift, those thoughts that coiled in your mind last night that tried to rob sleep will come to the forefront of your thoughts.
Ugh, I don't want to be reborn. I've already been reborn once. And he'll get up and head to the saloon, where he will pour himself 2 fingers of some form of whiskey and will sip it and go sit.
Rika just sits staring at the leaves that are now just sitting there. Of course, their fortune is spent, so to speak, but she is lost just in thought over all of it.
What is Nan doing?
Still sleeping. She has to rest for a full 8 hours.
Well, the time has come. The 8 hours has passed.
Stirring in her bunk, opening her eyes, looking around. Taking a moment to remember exactly where she is. Oh, bloody hell. Still here.
As you say that, your book somehow is beside you. The book with the inscription of "Oh Bloody Hell" on the title. And we'll begin flipping pages and land on a page.
She will jump up and move away from it. Kind of watch it, and when it stops, kind of inch back toward it, kind of looking over to see what page it's on without touching it.
It's a page that shows a strikingly beautiful red-headed woman, long curly red hair, gleaming green eyes, dressed in black leather, holding what looks like Runeth Kesha in one hand and a blade in the other. On the opposite page, there's writing. It talks about 10 stones troubling the water. One is the lock, one is the key. Vashka can be released with the lock and key into this world. But, and the but is in bold, red, giant calligraphy. If 3 of the stones are destroyed, okay. I'll wait.
Sorry, I'm trying to read it down. I'm just catching up. Okay.
But if half of the stones are destroyed, Vashka can take their throne. And then underlined in red with multiple exclamation points and be at full power. The page with the writing will rip as if caught on a breeze, flitter around the room before landing, mending again, and the book closes.
She's going to watch all that happen, thinking about what she just read on the page, pick the book up, shove it back in her bag where it had been before.
It is ice cold when you pick it up.
Oh, it's extra weird. She's going to jam it in the bag, close the bag up. Don't like that thing. It's weird. She's going to get up, go wander. If she comes across Clank, she might ask him if there's still any booze in the captain's quarters. She wants a drink.
Clank is nowhere to be found.
Can never find him when I need him. Well, it's not entirely true. Yes, I know he was very helpful and very kind to us when we were on the ship before. Oh. Right. She's going to wander to the galley.
All right.
Clearly having a conversation with Esmina back and forth, sometimes speaking in common, sometimes speaking in other languages. So she wanders into galley. She's probably speaking in Sylvan or Druidic, talking back and forth to herself.
Brika will look up and just kind of like raise an eyebrow and, is everything okay?
I just having a conversation with Esmina.
She nods, and there's tea if you'd like it.
I was actually looking for some booze. Is there any?
Across the hall apparently is a saloon, which I think is a fancy word for bar.
That'd do nice. You doing all right?
Yeah, things are a bit weird.
Well, I imagine.
But I'll go over with you. And she'll get up. She'll grab her teapot and her mugs, but so they can head over to the saloon, which she's still confused by that word.
I imagine a homecoming is a little weird when you don't remember home.
It's really strange because last night when we went up to the deck to look, well, now I guess I have two memories, not of that place, but of my mother. But there's something about it when I looked at it. It's like knowing that's home, but not knowing it. There's something about it that calls. There's a pull.
Interesting.
Just strange. It's kind of like my reaction to cream. That was like tasting a memory. It's like something I should have remembered, but I don't. But I do. I don't know.
As they walk into the saloon, Nan is just going to walk over, find a bottle of rum and a cup, and pour a big cup of rum and start sipping at it.
All righty. Let's start at this time.
Sarek will sit straight up out of his sleep, sweating. Shakes his head, looks around, sighs, and then quietly starts picking up his armor, putting his gear together. And about 10 minutes later, wanders out of his room and starts looking for people. Laz, are you there? You're muted.
Yes, Sarek. How can I help you?
Where is everybody?
They are in the saloon.
Okay.
It is
Where-
on the main deck across from the galley.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Do you need anything?
No, I am good. I have found a book. It is quite interesting. Also, Helga has been keeping me entertained.
Ah, very well then. I shall wander up and join the others. How long till we make? I don't know. Make what? How long till we get there?
Well, I have not started moving again yet. I was waiting for everyone to be ready before we set off into the system. I do not know how long it will take us. I am not as familiar with traveling not in the astral sea yet. We shall see.
Could ask Clank. Apparently he's been here before.
That is a good idea. Tyr, real quick, have I, while reading this book, have I don't suppose I've come across anything that would tell me who they were transporting that statue for, have I?
Give me an investigation check.
That's 12 plus 4, 16.
It just says the brother. But it does go on to say there's something that you do pick up. You pick up a couple things from this book with the 16. One, that this person was down on their luck, out of luck, run down, and a kindly merchant by the name of Wilhelm got them a job running cargo through the astral sea, and they made their way to captain. The next thing that you pick up is that this person has had state dinners with the queen of the fairies, Llewellyn Rose, and that it was an ordeal to not eat at such a wonderful feast, but for fear that the rumors may be true, they wouldn't eat lest they not be able to leave the shores.
Interesting. I ask Helga if they know anything about the Fae and about fairy customs, and whether it's true that you can't eat while you're there.
They would not know.
Okay. I figure I've been chit chatting with Helga this whole time, and then I'm gonna look for Clank.
Clank is in their quarters asleep.
Is he sleeping peacefully?
Yes.
Okay.
Hearing nothing, Sarek will head up to the saloon. Join everybody. Oh, good day, evening, afternoon. Time here is odd. Is that tea you have?
Yes, it's Fortune's tea. So save me the leaves.
Oh, very well. We'll sit down and have some tea.
And for anybody curious, Fortune's tea is similar to like the Scottish tea, so it's very malty. It's a very very good breakfasty tea.
Nan will finish the
No,
rum in her
tea.
cup.
Give me a Constitution saving throw. Since you just drank a cup of rub.
Oh yeah. She's a little stressed out by all this, so 9.
Nan is intoxicated.
Brika's
Yup.
gonna go ahead. Brika's gonna gently push the rum away from Nan and slide over a cup of tea that has a cinnamon stick in it, I think you do need some tea.
Nan's gonna look at you, reach over, pick up the bottle, pour a little rum into the tea, set the bottle down, and then start sipping her tea.
It tastes horrible.
Why would you ruin good tea like that? Give me that. And he'll take the bottle and hand it to Draft. Here, do something with this.
Have none
Oh,
of you
fun.
ever put rum in your tea before?
I don't want that. I don't want this. No, you take. You're being the responsible one and cutting off somebody who wants to drink, whatever reason for, whatever reasons for. I'm gonna sit over here and drink my nice little 2 fingers and sip and just sink for a little bit. It's been a very weird morning, Sarek. You've already missed it. I've been told that my fortune is that I'm going to come into a grave and then be put a crown on my head. It's very weird.
No, I've met you. It's not. And he'll put the rum back up on the bar. And besides, Nan, you don't want to be drunk before you enter the fairies' court.
Maybe you don't, but I'm not good with all the new stuff. And she's gonna pick the bottle up and kind of hold it while she sips the tea.
All right. Here's a bargain for you. I'll hold on to the bottle. You drink one regular cup of tea, no rum in it. We need you just okay. Just a scotch. Just a scotch. She actually adapts your accent for just a sec. Just a scotch sober. Okay?
But there's so much, and
Nan,
well,
what would Esmina turn into if she were drunk?
who knows? My luck, she'll probably turn into something big and smelly like a ape again.
Well, yeah, but if she...
Or a lizard, or a spider. I hate when she turns into a spider and she crawls upside down on the ceiling. I don't like being upside down.
Another good reason to not get completely drunk.
That's fine. She takes another sip.
Draft, you should not fret so much. At least the grave was not filled in. Climbing out of an open grave is far easier.
Just mumble to himself, I don't want to be reborn again. I'm already born. I don't want to be reborn again.
My friend, rebirth doesn't mean literal rebirth either. It can just be spiritual. It can be all kinds of rebirth.
I don't want to be reborn. I've told you I don't need to be reborn. I've already been born once, and I don't want to be reborn.
There is a sound of a door slamming that only Dreft can hear. That gentle tugging that kept you awake is pushed away. Those thoughts brushed from your mind as you set yourself firm and absolute that you do not wish to be reborn.
He'll shoot the rest of his whatever's left in the glass of the whiskey and just say, now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go to the top of the deck and just go stare at the stars. And that's what he goes to do.
Okay.
My.
What's got you so pouty?
It's hard
To Draft as
say.
he's leaving the room. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, as Draft's leaving, Nan's just gonna look up at him. What's got you so pouty?
He won't answer. He'll just leave.
She's gonna follow him.
Rika,
Yes, Laz.
I have learned some interesting things. I believe I know your mother's name.
Really?
Yes. Perhaps you should both come up onto the deck as well. and we can all talk in person rather than me having to split my focus.
Okay.
Fair enough. He'll finish his tea, hand the leaves of the cup back to Brika.
Before they leave, she's gonna do the whole cup thing. Take it, talk, whisper her words over it, put her hand on it, slap it out, and look at it.
You see how I'm trying to figure out how to word it. A discovery. You see Sarek making a giant discovery, but you can't see the details. Just that they will discover something.
Well, my friend, it looks like at some point, and it's a bit vague. You're going to discover something, and it's going to be quite. I don't want to say life changing, but it's going to be a big deal. Yes, I think that would be the best way to say it. It's going to be a big. It's going to be just a. It's going to be big.
Hmm. Interesting.
Oh.
Well, shall we go
Also-
upstairs then?
Sarek, on your way up, could you discover me a cup of coffee? I've missed coffee. I think I would like some.
I'll see what I can do. He'll wander over to the gallery, see if he can't find some coffee.
Easily.
He will brew some coffee and take it up to Laz.
As you're brewing the coffee, Sarek, something keeps nagging you, but you don't know what it is. Something you wanted to remember, but can't seem to.
Oh, I'm sure it'll come to me eventually. So he picks up the coffee and blows on it a bit, smells it, goes, foul stuff, and takes the mug of it up to Laz.
By the way, when you all get up there, Laz is sitting kind of half side saddle in the helm with one foot up on the seat and a book, a leather-bound journal, resting against their thigh, and their sword stuck in the wood next to them, and is they're fiddling with the ring that's on their thumb that Helga's in as they're paging through the book.
So
Yeah, your coffee.
Oh, thank you. Something about coffee. It's very comforting. Takes a sip. Clank is still very much asleep right now, so he's not offering any useful information. I do not know how long it will take us to get to the Silver Spires once we enter the system. I am unfamiliar with how the ship will travel once we leave the astral sea for material space again. But I am ready to move us in that direction whenever the rest of you are. In the meantime, I found this book in the captain's quarters, hidden under the mattress. It seems to be his journal. He apparently had dinner once in the Silver Spires, a royal feast with the Queen of the Fae, Llewellyn Rose. And if that person is indeed your mother, that would be her name then. Also, he mentioned that it was devilishly hard for him to get through the feast without actually eating anything because it all looked and smelled delicious, but he was superstitious and fearful that he would be trapped if he ate any of the Fae food.
I have my doubts that all the food would be. I could see some of it. She kind of raises an eyebrow, but then again, I don't know.
There are legends, I believe, about the Fae, but they are very keen on the rules of hospitality, from my understanding, and that you never take something offered unless you are giving in exchange.
I've heard the same. And I
You-
know
Go ahead.
I know all Fae are supposed to have a I think they refer to it as a true name. They're
Hmm.
which is why the merchant in the one city was refusing to give a name at all. But they're supposed to have a true name, and that's knowing that gives you control.
Like demons.
Yes.
Um, hmm. I don't know much about the cosmology of the planes, but it could be that the upper and lower planes line up somehow, and that there are similarities between them. Hmm.
Hmm.
Also, the person who was the former captain of the ship did not start off as captain, but rose through the ranks after getting a job transporting cargo on a spell jamming vessel, thanks to someone from Ruth Kesha named Wilhelm, a noted merchant, apparently.
Hmm.
And finally, and this is the most pressing piece of business, the statue in the hold was picked up in the Nightmare Realm and was intended to go to Runith Kesha to someone called the Brother. But they needed to make a stop in the Silver Spires first. He had intended to cancel all shore leave because loose slips sink ships, and he was afraid that if the denizens of the Silver Spires found out he had the statue, they would wrest it from him because it is where it belongs.
That explains the runes. And she looks down at her arms for a second.
And as you all stand in contemplation of what it would mean should the denizens of the Silver Spire learn of the statue, we're going to take our last break.
Bum, bum, bum.
I need pain medicine.
Real quick before we go to break, Dreft, did you go up to the deck where everybody else was, or did you wander somewhere else on ship?
He's on the deck of the ship. He's within earshot, but he's not like standing around. He's still kind of moody.
Okay.
Being told about all that stuff.
All right, so we'll be back in 10 minutes. We're going to get our beverages of choice, some snickety snacks, and we'll be back. back. Sorry for the delay. My in-ear monitors decided that they didn't want to connect, and so I had to break out the cans. So, yeah. Now I can hear myself talking, and I sound weird. I don't like it. I hate the sound of my own voice. When we had left, the party was above deck discussing what Laz had found in the captain's personal journal, staring out at the realm of the Silver Spires as it comes into view. What you guys want to do now?
Nan is just kind of annoyingly like standing there staring at Dreft.
And Dreft is lost in his own little world, staring out into the astral sea.
What's so bad about being reborn?
Just close his eyes.
Say Preca.
Yes.
I think I know how to funk. Hold on a second. And he'll walk up next to Nan. Say, Nan,
Yeah.
so what is it you didn't want me to tell Dreft?
Oh, I don't remember.
We talked
Was
about
there
it
something
yesterday.
you weren't supposed to tell Drift?
I don't know. You confided in me something about your past. You told me not to tell him. Why?
Oh, I don't remember. I don't
All
usually.
right. Sarah, give me a deception check. Dreft, give me an insight.
His reaction, like, genuinely was just gonna be to ignore them. I have a 23 on my insight.
I rolled a 2. And that 1 + 1.
You know that this is just Sarek's way trying to lighten the mood.
I was just wondering what the big deal about the whole reborn thing is. I mean, starting over is not that bad. I mean, it's a little weird, but it's not that bad.
At the mention of starting over, he will almost snap to and look you dead in the face and be like, I've tried starting over you, Ishu, but you decided a long time ago to judge me on some actions that weren't even my own actions. And now I have to hear about this whole being reborn. I don't want to be reborn. I already was reborn when they decided the head to come off of the person. And then he's going to switch into Infernal and just start sputtering more about how he's given everybody so much trust and that his trust is not even being given, and he will exhale realizing that he is very frustrated and nobody is understanding him because he's speaking in Infernal. And he'll breathe and he will just say, the problem with being reborn is when you have already been reborn, then all you can do is die. And I don't want to die. I want to become immortal. There. So that's the biggest secret I have in my entire life, is that ever since I was a little boy, I've wanted to become immortal. I want to see what happens at the very end of everything. And I've thought that by aligning myself with a vampire queen, that I would be able to do that. But then that chance was taken from me by a red-headed woman with green eyes who might also hold the key to immortality. And I'm still wrestling with the idea of throwing my lot in with her if the world is going to end anyway. There. So that's the problem with being reborn. And he will turn on his heels and he will walk to the bow of the ship where he will hopefully stare into the black inky abyss that is wild space.
Darn, she was going to hiccup and boop you on the nose, but you turned and walked away. Nan is drunk, and sober, she probably would have had like an actual back and forth with you over this, but drunk as she is, as you're walking away, she probably just hiccups and looks at Sarek. What did he say?
Don't worry about it. We'll deal with that. And I think you broke Patrick.
Rico was standing there just watching everybody's back and forth, and when Dreft walks off, she's just going to use the Wispinator, knowing everybody else can hear it, and just very softly, becoming immortal is a form of rebirth. And then she
You're
follows
muted,
that.
Patrick.
She follows it with a slight, just a little, I don't mean it as a dig.
You see him grab, as soon as you say that thing into the Wispinator, you see him grab the Wispinator and pull it off of him, and like he's about to throw it off the edge of the ship. And then he will breathe and take a deep breath and put it very gently back onto his lapel pin.
The Wispinator hanging beside the key badge,
Yep.
key card.
Yep.
Nan's gonna wander over to Lazarian, sitting in the chair, and kind of like lean over him, look at the book he's looking at. You're eating anything good?
This is the journal of the former steward of the ship.
Oh, that sounds boring.
Oh, it's been quite enlightening. I'm learning things about wild space and the creatures the ship has encountered while traversing the astral sea. There are some interesting fish, I guess you would say, in the sea.
Does it have any maps in it?
Not in here. However, and
Last
points to a door. That is the chart room.
Ooh, wander into the chart room.
Give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Totally fair. I'd like to note she's still holding the bottle of rum. Nobody took it away from her after she snatched it back. The 11 is the lower of the two on the die. And my perception is 4, so 15.
You see laid out on the table a chart of the astral sea with grease pen markings plotting a course for the Silver Spires and then to Runeth Kesha.
There's charts in here. And
I would hope so. It is called a chart room.
Oh, but the course on this one, it's Silver Spires and then Runeth Kesha.
Yes, that is where the statue in the hold was meant to be delivered.
That's also where we're from.
Yes. I had noticed that.
She's just going to hiccup a couple of more times and go back to looking at charts.
Sarek's gonna sidle up quietly next to Laz. Hey, Laz, just get us moving at this point. Hopefully it doesn't take us too long to get there.
Very well. Helga says I should tell you all, hold on to your butts. Whatever that means. And the ship begins to move again.
Luckily, drunk Nan is not close enough to try to hold on to anybody's butt.
It's a shame Nan is drunk.
Why is that?
Oh, well. And so the ship begins to move. You find that it is an interesting sensation penetrating the atmosphere of this system. The clouds are thick and heavy, blocking sight of everything for several moments, almost unnerving, and then breaking through, seeing the rolling blue seas of water, and way in the distance, the tiniest speck of silver.
I will very loudly shout at Clank as if I'm standing next to him in the room. Clank!
What?
It is time to wake up. We have arrived at the Silver Spire.
Oh, fuck. He'll say as he rolls out of bed and begins dressing.
We will need to decide what to do about the statue. I think we should forego taking it back to Runith Kesha as the captain had planned, and deliver it here instead, where it rightfully belongs.
I would agree.
Hmm. We could use it in trade if needed.
Give
Assuming
me an insight, Locke.
Drift will shake his head. Faye, do you want to leave the statue here? Is that what you're getting at? Sorry, I'm tuning back in.
Yes, 19 plus, you said insight?
Yes.
23.
23. You're not... The book doesn't mention why it's bad. But it definitely expresses in no uncertain terms it would be bad for the statue to be found in the Silver Spire.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, it doesn't mention why it would be bad. My impression initially from the way you phrased it was that the captain thought it would be bad to get caught with it here by the Fae. Not that it would be bad if the Fae had the statue, just that him and his crew getting caught with it because it was something that's probably been taken from them by someone else and is now being sold to someone from the Nightmare Realm to someone in Runith Kesha. It would be bad if they discovered that. It's like if you bought an ancient Egyptian artifact in England and then were transporting it to America through Cairo, you wouldn't want the people in Cairo to know you had it. Is the impression I got. Is that not the right impression? Do I get a different impression than that?
That is part of the impression. The other part of it is that the thing that you get from this book is that if it's found that whoever found it that wasn't from Silver Spire is going to take the blame for its disappearance.
Yes, Dreft. I believe that we should return the statue to its rightful owners and not to the person the captain had intended to deliver it. However, the complication is that the former captain of this ship, seemed to believe that the people of the Silver Spires would blame whomever was in possession of the statue for its original disappearance, regardless of their intentions. But we have the benefit of having someone who is from the Silver Spires with us, in theory anyway. With Brika, we might be able to return it.
That's fair, but also the thing on the statue is not from the Silver Spires. It's from Angor Mora.
And aren't we going to try and free them?
Yeah, I would hope so. That would be very kind for the people of my doings.
So
Then
this is where this is going to get interesting. But on 23 insight, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give this to both of you. Whatever is inside the statue is from Angramora. Whatever cursed the statue is from the Silver Spire.
Oh, that makes a difference. I think that the curse bearer, the one who imprisoned whatever the diviner is, from here. So yes, perhaps not letting them know that we have such a thing is a better idea. Now that I've had that realization.
So we keep up the shell game inside of the hold. We speak not of what is in the hold anyway. And we go see hi to Brika's mama. Yeah?
Yes, and try and convince her to hand over a stone.
Yeah. Easy. Easy. You haven't had a birthday present in how long? You deserve a good birthday present.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would prefer him when he's moody.
You can. Brika's just kind of watching where the ship is going. It's her turn to get a little quiet as she watches that speck of silver get a little bit bigger.
The ship will touch down into the water and begin gliding, sailing towards that speck of green and silver on the horizon. Clank will make his way onto the deck. Oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. What are we doing here? I thought we were going back to Rudith Kesha.
We require something that is here, and we need to get it before someone else does.
All right.
It's okay. We have an ambassador.
Sarek will step up next to Brika and just stand next to her quietly.
I think Nan has ended up curled up on the floor cuddling a map or a chart and is just kind of chilled.
Clank will let out an exasperated sigh and then just nod. If you say so, laddie. If you say so. I need a drink.
I am not a laddie.
My apologies. I meant no offense.
None taken.
Clank will make their way to the saloon.
I don't know why people keep calling you laddie. Your name is Laz.
Some people get hung up on gender.
That's kind of ridiculous.
As I am neither, it does seem so.
Slowly, the green and silver will grow. The vision of the large crystals jutting up from the water, making a treacherous passage to safe harbor, will unfold before you in reality. And as you breach through the crystalline shore into the harbor of the Silver Spires, our story comes to an end for this evening.
I knew it.
I want to
it
thank. Go ahead.
Is it possible that between where they touched down or when she stopped drinking and when they arrived at the shore that Nan has sobered some?
I will take it into consideration.
Okay.
Bribery works.
She did drink some tea with a little bit of rum in it, but it was tea.
Well, and she didn't continue to drink from the bottle. She was just holding it.
We'll see. I want to thank everyone that tuned in tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We love sharing this with you. I want to thank each of you for being players at my table. I think that tonight was a good game. So
It was fun.
Absolutely.
let's go ahead and remind people who we are, where they can find us, and let's get out of here.
Greetings, gamers. I am Raph the Man, and I have been the voice of Sarek the Blade, our lovely Dragonborn who is now in a different world, hanging out with some really strange people. So you can find me at BLKDragon13000 on Twitter.
Hey, everybody. I'm Ren Matley, the voices of Nan and Esmina. You can find me over on Twitter at Ren_Matley.
Hi, gamers. I'm still Lot Clark, and tonight I have been Laz, or Lazarian, your spell jamming Helms person, who is happy to be on a new world, new plane. And you can find me on the Book of Faces and Twitter Patients at Lock Unruly. That's Lock with an H.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Patrick, the voice of Draft Vitakin, and you can find me on Twitter at Peculiar Patrick.
Hi, Ez, it's Ames. I was the voice of Brika, and you can find me on Twitter at LollyGFIFO.
And I'm Tier the DM, World's OKest DM. You can find me on Twitter at Tier_the_DM. Remember, guys, that even though things get dark and times get hard, there is hope. We saw that somewhat in different elections and changing of the balance of power. We have an obligation to each other. Love and inclusion. These are the torches that light a path to a better tomorrow. Come join us and be torchbearers. And remember, until next time, live a life to make yourself proud. We love you guys.